Hello everyone, Terry Degani here, welcoming you to the new year and already starting to think about season 2019 for the Carlton Football Club. Very, very exciting times. Obviously we start with a 0-0 record, no losses, no wins. Everyone is for the most part healthy and yeah, just really looking forward to getting back into it. Obviously we've got to go through the pre-season and there's still a lot of, a block of training to go as well before any of that kicks off. But really the purpose of this video is to give you my top 3 Supercoach bargains of the year from the Carlton Football Club. Now, as you're aware, I don't live in Melbourne anymore, so I haven't been able to go to training and see the boys, but I was able to go to their last training session for 2018. And it was a really, really special time. And I did pick up a few inklings of those who were training strongly. Now, obviously, you've got to put it in context. It was one training session. It was the last session for the year, so guys are going pretty hard. But if my eye serves me well and my experience with watching the club serves me well, I think I've got it right. So I've bookmarked 7 guys. I sort of circled them going into this year of those who I think have either some value where they can earn you some money, earn you some cash and have a nice average, and some who will just be keepers for the rest of the season. So I'll go through them now. So Caleb Marchbank, Tom Williamson, Paddy Cripps, Zach Fisher, Will Setterfield, Sam Walsh and Matty Cruiser. Just going through them. Caleb Marchbank, he's come off 2018 season where he played 12 games and he averaged 65.5 points a game. Now, Carlton people will know that he can produce much better than that. I can see his potential being somewhere between that 83 and 85 mark if he's fit and healthy. But the problem is he hasn't been able to prove that just yet in his career. He does tend to be a little injury prone. When he's up and fit and firing, he's a great intercept mark player, and we know exactly the impact he can have. So he's one that I've circled. Tom Williamson, I must say, this is the kid that impressed me the most out of the entire group while I was at the training session in late December. I just think he's got, he's coming off a season where he didn't play. He played 0 games, obviously average 0. He's priced at $189,500. I think he is the absolute steal from the club in terms of a value standpoint, price versus output. And just watching him train, looking at the, I mentioned it in the podcast a few weeks ago that he just had this look in his eyes. He really wanted to beat everyone in the sprints that was ahead of him. He was bumping guys, and I just got this feeling from him. And first and foremost, he's a good player. And he's shown that he's a decent player. He's very young, but he's got some nice size on him now. And obviously with Doc going down, someone's going to have to step in and fill that type of role. Now, no one's going to be able to be Sam Doherty, but we're talking from a Supercoach point of view here. I think he is the value pick of the group. Paddy Cripps, I mean, it goes without saying, we're talking about a guy that played 22 games last season, and you got to think about the way that he plays and the style that he plays. It's brutal, it's taxing, and he was able to average 119.4 points a game last year. I expect Paddy Cripps to be a better player in 2019. I think by his own admission, he would probably like to hit the scoreboard a little bit better. His kicking for goal wasn't great, and sometimes he can let himself down by foot. Obviously, his role in the team is to be, that inside midfielder, excavator, if you will, or extractor. And I can just see him going to another level. Obviously, he's got the captaincy now, and I think it's perfectly suited to him. So he's another one that I've circled. Zach Fisher, interesting to note, he's a midfielder and a forward option this year, and I think that's a bit of a game changer. He averaged 72.3 points in 2018. He played 17 games, and he's priced at $392,800. I just thought he was about to break out last season before he got injured. I remember early in the season, I was asking if he could raise his disposal average to that 18, 19 mark, and he just blew that out of the water. And he had a few games where he had those 27, 28 possession games, particularly against West Coast. I remember that was a really good game of his, and he really looked like he was about to make a really big leap. And so to have his season cut short, I think it'll burn inside him a little bit. So I look at him as one of those players that can really step up, and he'll be a bit of a unique pick as well. Combine that with the dual position, I think that's a very interesting choice there. Will Setterfield is another one that's a midfielder and a forward as an option. Obviously, didn't play any games last year. He's priced at 144,900, and I don't think he's going to be a keeper. I think we're going to be patient with him, but the club, all the messages that I'm sort of reading into and receiving are that we're going to give him the best opportunity to be that extra big-bodied midfielder for Cripps. So that means he's going to be right there in the thick of it. The tackle opportunities are there, and they obviously attract points. Contested possessions attract a lot more points than uncontested possessions. Will he be fit? I think he will. If he is going to be fit, and if he does line up in round one, I think he's a great option he's priced as a rookie. So that's one to look out for. Sam Walsh is another one, 207,300. He's another one that I guess, sort of not too dissimilar to the Paddy Dow situation last year. We just want to get him to 20 games. Paddy Dow averaged 59.6 last year, so I think Walsh can give you a little bit of a spike, and he'll be a bit of a cash cow. Obviously, I don't think he'll be someone that you keep for the season, but he's definitely an option there. And Matthew Cruiser averaged 79.8 last year, played 12 games. He's priced at 432,900. If you believe that he's going to bounce back, get healthy this season, he's a bargain. If you're worried about those, remember he had those heart issues towards the end of last year. That could be an issue. It might scare you away. For me personally, I won't be picking him. I just, especially in the ruck, you want to pick someone that you can just set and forget. So, but in terms of value, he's definitely one that's got the potential to score. He's averaged over 100 points in a season. So he's definitely one that has value. But to recap, for me, the top 3 picks for your Supercoach side in 2019 from the Carlton Football Club. Number 1 will be Paddy Cripps. He's priced at 648,200. He costs a lot, but you know what you're going to get each week, and you can just put that captain on him, and rest assured it's going to be a pretty headache-free weekend for you. So Paddy Cripps number 1, Tom Williamson number 2. I just think he's priced under 200,000. He's played AFL. We're going to have to use him this season. We've got a bit of a hole in defence, and a hole that he can fill. So I think if he lines up round 1, he's a lock for me. And the third one is Zach Fisher. I just can't get past that price, the dual position status, whether you put him as a midfielder or forward. I'll probably have him in my forward line, to be honest. I know that there is an argument to say about the mid-priced players and whatnot, and at best, what's Zach Fisher going to be able to average? Can he get himself into the 85, 90 range? I don't think he'll push to the 100, but I just loved what I saw last season. I loved the quantum leap that he showed last season when we didn't expect it. And so I'm going to have him as my 3rd selection. So those are my 3. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Did I get it right? Is there someone that I'm missing? I did think of Samo, I did think of Paddy Dow, Mitch McGovern as well. They're there. Fasolo is another one that you could look at as well. But those are my 3. Let me know what you think.